Welcome to Vantage Aditya. A new headline is grabbing global attention. MIT researchers reportedly claim that 95% of AI pilots fail. Everywhere you look, media outlets are echoing the number, 95%. It sounds damning, almost like the AI revolution is crumbling before it even begins. But pause for a moment. Headlines are designed to shock, not to clarify. Today, we'll peel back this claim layer by layer. I'll show you why the statistic may not mean what you think, the hidden flaws behind it, and why leaders must not fall into the trap of believing everything wrapped in an academic label. Stay with me till the end, because by the time we finish, you'll know how to confidently respond the next time someone waves this 95% failure headline in your boardroom. The story behind the headline. The number comes from an MIT-linked project called Project Nanda. They conducted surveys and interviews across a few hundred companies, and their takeaway was simple. Most AI pilots do not deliver rapid revenue acceleration. That became the soundbite, 95% fail. But here is where the story gets interesting. The full report is preliminary, access to it is inconsistent, and details about how they defined failure are vague. And when something this dramatic spreads without full transparency, leaders should always ask, what's really underneath? Flaw 1. The definition trap. The report defines success as rapid revenue growth. Anything less, cost savings, efficiency gains, quality improvements, or even risk reduction, gets scored as 0. Think about that. A bank using AI to cut fraud detection time from hours to seconds, is that a failure just because it didn't instantly add revenue? A hospital using AI to catch early misdiagnoses, is that a failure because it didn't raise quarterly profits? Clearly not. But under this narrow definition, all these cases are lumped into the failure bucket. This is the first sign that the headline number is misleading. Flaw 2, pilots are meant to fail. Let's go deeper. What is a pilot? By design, it's an experiment. You try 10 ideas, expect 7 to be discarded, and scale the 3 that work. Calling discarded pilots failures misunderstands the purpose of experimentation. Imagine saying 95% of prototype drugs fail. Yes, and that's supposed to happen because the few that succeed transform medicine. When the report labels every non-scaled pilot as a failure, it inflates a number without acknowledging the funnel. Flaw 3, the sample problem. We don't see the raw data. How many companies were included? How diverse were the industries? Were these global leaders or early-stage adopters still testing the waters? Without knowing, we cannot generalize the number across all enterprises. Preliminary findings are being treated like universal truth, a dangerous shortcut. Flaw 4, build versus buy bias. The report seems to lump together companies that built custom AI systems from scratch with those that simply adopted proven co-pilots or platforms. That is like comparing someone building their own electric car in a garage to someone buying a Tesla. Of course, the failure rate will look different. Without separating these groups, the 95% number tells us more about IT project maturity than about AI's intrinsic value. Flaw 5, contradictory evidence. If AI really failed 95% of the time, how do we explain independent peer-reviewed studies? A large randomized study on customer support found that generative AI boosted productivity by 14% on average, with the biggest gains for new workers. Developers using GitHub Copilot completed tasks 56% faster in controlled experiments. Other field studies show AI narrows the skill gap between juniors and seniors, helping organizations level up quickly. These are measurable, proven results. They directly contradict the claim that almost everything fails. So what's going on? The answer is poor measurement, not poor technology. Flaw 6, one size doesn't fit all. AI's value isn't uniform. In content creation, coding assistance, customer support, and reconciliation workflows, value appears fast. In heavily regulated industries, returns take longer. By mixing these sectors into one statistic, the nuance vanishes. Leaders need use case level truth, not blanket labels. Flaw 7, the time horizon illusion. Every general purpose technology follows a J-curve. At first, costs rise, retraining, infrastructure, redesign. Only later do gains appear. Calling short-term learning periods failures is like calling the internet a flop in 1995 because businesses hadn't yet cracked e-commerce. We know how that story ended. Flaw 8, ignoring non-revenue metrics. The report zooms in on top-line revenue. But what about cycle time? What about error rates? What about customer satisfaction? These are the metrics where AI is already shining. If your support team handles requests 40% faster, your customer NPS improves, churn falls, and revenue follows later. To dismiss these benefits is short-sighted. Flaw 9, the hidden agenda. Project Nanda itself advocates for a decentralized, agentic future of AI. If a report says everything fails unless you do it our way, leaders must pause. Academic credibility should not blind us to the possibility of positioning bias. Flaw 10, market overreaction. Stock markets dipped after this headline. Analysts declared the AI bubble is bursting. But remember, markets react to drama. Volatility is not validation. A dramatic number in the news does not equal reality on the ground. So what's the truth? Here's the balanced view. Yes, many AI pilots stall. Poor planning, lack of change management, wrong use cases, these are real issues. But the 95% number is exaggerated, framed with narrow metrics, and inconsistent with experimental evidence. The real story is this. AI delivers measurable gains when applied to the right task, with the right controls, and with leaders who understand adoption cycles. Pilots aren't proof of failure, they're stepping stones to scale. What leaders must do next? So how do you respond when someone asks if AI is failing? Here's the playbook. Redefine success. Don't look for overnight revenue. Measure learning speed, cycle time, error reduction, and customer satisfaction. Pick the right use cases. Go where text is abundant and ground truth is clear. Support, claims, reconciliation, knowledge retrieval, coding assistance. Buy first, then build. Adopt proven platforms and extend them. Don't reinvent the wheel too early. Invest in change management. Most AI failures are organizational, not technical. Move beyond demo theater. Test real inputs under real SLAs. Stratify your portfolio. Run 3 tracks: quick win co-pilots, retrieval-based knowledge tools, and 1 or 2 ambitious bets. Show before and after metrics. Transparency builds confidence. Expect the J-curve. Gains compound after the initial investment phase. Control the narrative. When the board hears 95% fail, respond with real metrics from your own pilots. Stay long-term. Technology adoption is not a quarter-by-quarter game. So here is the verdict. The MIT headline is not proof that AI is failing. It's proof that enterprises often measure the wrong things, in the wrong time horizon, with the wrong yardsticks. AI is not magic, but it is not a mirage either. The truth is simple. AI works when leaders work wisely. Stay curious, stay disciplined, and remember, the teams who ignore the drama and execute with clarity will capture the real value while everyone else debates a misleading number. Thank you for watching Vantage Aditya. If this gave you clarity, subscribe now, because every week we cut through the noise to bring you the truth that creates real greatness.